String cyberspace into your place. The third stop on the schedule for the 36th season of Formula Legal brings us to the land of windmills, canals, tulip, cheese, and Dutch masters. That's right, we're in Holland, on tap. Races 4 and 5, and you can see all the absolute beginner league sanctioned action right here, right now, on the Virtual Grip Network. Goedendag, everyone. Zach Shaggy Chapman joins yours truly, Bill Soupson, live in the VGN broadcast booth to bring you our Word's Eye View. Replay Ryan Seneker, turn of the knobs, push of the sliders. Shaggy, let's get right to us. Tell us about Zandvoort.
Yeah, perfect timing there, Soup. Riding on board here with Michael Hafladays, and he's coming around the last corner here. It's going to be turn 13 at Zandvoort. Long sweeping right. You see he's going to get a little off track. That's going to hurt his speed going down here in the front stretch. But this is the most famous corner and one that could cause a lot of excitement here, turn 1 with the standing start. Coming down in here to Tarzan corner, we're going to see different break points. We're going to see different lines. I personally like to take this line, the outside swoop. You're going to see some people, though, enter in low and come out a little more inside, but they're going to hurt their exit speed. Coming up here, we're going to see a different line as well through turn 3. You're going to see some people swoop to the outside, make passes, and you're going to see some people dive bomb to the inside. We're coming up here, uphill. As you see, the car's going to unsettle a little bit. Not a lot of passing room here. One of the tightest points of the track. You're kind of at bay of the guy in front of you. And you're going to see here, as they get off the gas, it's going to unsettle a little bit, get back in, it sucks right back to the ground. And a lot of high speed through here. Quick touch of the brakes, right back in it. Come in, turn 9. It's going to be one of your slower corners in the track. You're going to get into it real hard. Maybe steps a little sideways, slow down again here. And then we're going to come into a long straightaway here. We'll call it the backstretch today. But we're going to see a lot of passing here. You're going to try to set guys up through that last corner. You're going to try to outbrake them right through here into the little S. You want to slow in, fast out. You want to be on the throttle at the apex, carry all that speed there to the rumble strips on the outside. And we're right back where we started. Turn 13, coming down to the front stretch, Soup.
Then through the corner that, for us American fans, named after maybe the most famous Dutch driver for us, Arie Luyendyk, 2-time Indianapolis 500 winner. Max Verstappen, probably the most famous Dutch driver currently, I would think. Hafladays puts in a 134.2, sitting third on the grid. Let's quickly take a look. Talk a little bit more about the track here real quick before we bring up the points. 4.2 kilometers around, 2.6 miles for those metrically challenged. It's a clockwise circuit, 14 corners, 10 to the right, 4 going the devil's way. Here's some stats about the series. We're in the cars, the F1A F1 car series. This is round 3 of 5, F4, sorry about the F4 car. Today's format, we have twin 20-minute sprints. We'll invert the top 5 finishers for the second race. No pit stops today, open setups. There are teams, so if you can find a driver out there on track you want to follow around, that'll help you in qualifying, as that is open as well. Now we'll quickly take a look at the points, talk about the top 5. Marcus Byfeld, well, he led all but 3 laps at Sebring to pick up his second race win of the season, sits at the top. Mikael Hafladays finished third behind Byfeld and Christian Hengst. Hengst isn't here today. That was enough to climb Hafladays into second. Wojciech Potocek's best result this season was a third in the second Red Bull sprint. A race 3 no-show at Sebring stops Phillips Hammer out of the tie for the lead down into 4th. And David Third Degree Burns is still hunting his first podium. You can see the back half of the top 10 down there as well. Glad you are with us here today. Also with us today are 22 drivers, a nice healthy field here in the Netherlands. Now let's go out on track and see how qualifying's going on. Zach, no surprise, point leader, top of the chart.
No surprise. Byfeld's very fast, but a guy who you just mentioned hunting for his first podium, David Burns, P2. Maybe this is the day for him.
Looks like we had 18 drivers able to put in a qualifying lap. 4 did not. Milas, Hayes, Bigdelius, and Simon. We'll talk about them as we, I guess it's time to go to the grid right now. This is a standing start, and VGN gives the commentators a little bonus if we get through all the drivers before we go green. So let's go ahead and do that right now. On the front row, it is the points leader, Marcus Barfeld. He's going to be inside of David Byrne.
Starting P3, Michael Haflidaisen outside Christopher Giros.
Bambi, Neil Bamber in 5th spot, flanked by Vincent Bream.
P7, Wojtek Podacek on his outside, Daniel Salo.
Ludovic Sauer and Frederick Neptune go 9th and 10th.
Klaus Loden is going to start P11 outside Edgar Sanchinelli.
Christian Grill will start in the Baker's Dozen position. He's going to be inside of Hendrik Kamara.
Lucas Peterson on the inside of row 8 to his outside Vladimir Stageskull.
In 17th, it's Frederick Bartholomew. James Molyneux, the French driver, in 18th position. I assume he's from France with that name.
Stefan Malie starting P19 to his outside, yet to grid, Tony Hayes.
Alexander Bigdelius in the Hidden Blackjack. And Lance Simon in the Double Duck spot. Hey, the commentators are going to get their DGN race grid bonus. That always makes us happy when that works out that way. Glad you were here with us. Yes, it is the 3rd round, but it's races 4 and 5 is how we're calling it. You can hear the engine start to rev. You know what to do. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is indeed the points leader, Mykers Byfield, leads the stampede down into the first corner. A little battle for second position going on behind him. They're going to get that sorted out. I believe that's going to be Haflidaisen tucking into second as he picks up a spot off the grid. And that is going to be Burns now in 3rd.
Yeah, they were 2 and 3 wide through turn 1, but everybody made it through clean, Soup.
Burns notoriously a slow starter, and once again he lives up to the reputation that he's been known for. Clean so far.
Yeah, some guys, just don't have the feel for cold tires that other guys have, and it just, takes them that extra little lap and a half to get going. But if it keeps them on the racetrack, it's worth it at the end of the day.
Rounding out the drivers for your top 5, that is Christian Garros and Bambi. Neil Bamber. Beautiful day to go racing right now. They are mostly single file. A little bit of a battle. Let's jump back a little farther in the field. I want to go back to Ludwig Sauer. He was under attack there by Frederick Neptune. They get that sorted out. Those are 2 veterans of the series. Now we can go back up front and see what's happening up there. Let's go ahead and watch and see if Byfield runs away with this thing. Finishing up the very first lap right now out of Lyondike. This is the banked corner. This was the one I had the least amount of trouble with. It was fun. Coming across the line, he picked himself up about a half-second lead, is Byfield. Now, look at the toe, though. I think Haflidaisen is close enough as he closes down, heading into Tarzan. Oh!
Yeah, you got to love that, swinging around almost like you're on the rope. That's you got to feel the G-forces in there. That's got to be an amazing feeling.
Did a little research. Why is it named Tarzan? But I love the racing line at that corner there where they just hug the outside line. There is no apex to be found there as they go through there. It used to belong when they were building the track. And there was an eccentric guy, and his nickname was Tarzan. He had a vegetable garden down there. And he said, look, I'll let you build a track in my vegetable garden if you name the corner after me. And that's why they did it. At least that's what I'm hearing, the story. David Burns running in 3rd, Garros in 4th. Top 10 beginning to string out a little bit. Gonna drop you back. There's a battle back here. Vincent Bream is
to the lead.
Oh, to the lead we have one.
Yeah, Haflidaisen looking on the inside right now. It doesn't look like he's going to have the corner speed, and it looks like Byfeld's going to be able to, beat him back out. But, boy, we're going to have a race down the front stretch here.
Indeed. Let's stay on. Oh, no, there's a mistake. And is that the points leader that's off?
Yes, it is.
Byfield is off now. This has huge consequences for the standings. They only pay down to 15th position. Byfield didn't lose as much as you would have thought after his trip through the sand. I wonder if he's going to have a slowdown penalty. Look at this. He's going to take no time to get points back as he's going right back at Garros.
Yeah, I don't think Garros is putting up much of a fight there. I think he realizes he was lucky to get around him quick, and being teammates like that, he's just going to try to ride in that wake and catch those guys in front.
So we talk about that. So it's Haflidaisen and Burns now. Byfield is able to salvage 3rd position. Honestly, that's about the best you could hope for after they call it the dunes here because it's so sandy. Well, my goodness, he needed a plastic bucket and a shovel because he was in the beach.
Yeah, lucky too. You know, iRacing does a pretty good job. If he went in those that sand too hard, he could have dug that front wing in and caused a little bit of damage. But it looks pretty clean, and it looks like he's going to be all right. And lucky for him, it happened so early. He's got, what, 15 minutes, 17 minutes to run these guys back down. But, man, he's got to get going.
And he is still sitting in the top 5 where the inversion would play into effect for the second round. They will invert the top 5. Let's go back. I want to look at car number 28, Wojciech Potocek. He is under attack from Daniel Solo. Potocek has done really well, sits well up in the points right now, but he's in a battle. You know, different strokes for different folks. He just doesn't seem to. Oh no, there it is! You can feel it coming, and Potocek gets loose, and he puts it in the wall.
And you can see that the right side of that front wing is damaged a little bit. That thing's not going to handle the best for him in this little shootout here.
And he is a long way. We're going to look at the replay again on this one. And he is a long way from 5th position as we
he's got
that one done. Yeah, he's going to have to come in. That car was undrivable. All right, let's go up front. David, third-degree burns, is now under it, putting the pressure on Hofladezen.
Yeah, he knows he has to because in his mirror, that 105 machine of Beifeld's coming quick. He just ran the fastest lap of the race last time by half a second quicker than the leaders, so he is coming.
2 20-minute sprints, and I'll tell you this, Beifeld's mistake through the sand has really put the drama in this event right now. He was running away with it. Burns now, let's stay on the lead as they come through these corners. These things have been named so many times. Look at Burns putting the pressure on. Down through this left-hander. Back on the gas to the back straight now. Here comes the chicane. Man, I had trouble with this chicane. This is a tough one.
Well, imagine, you know, of course we're going to have trouble with it. Beifeld had trouble with it there on that other lap. This is a dirty corner, and you know, you carry in all that speed there in the draft, and he was lucky to hang on to it there. He went in pretty aggressive, but boy, he's right on the Burns' tail tank right now.
Man, he is back in the mix after that early mistake. So we have a 3-car battle. Apologies to the rest of the field. We pride ourselves of showing all the racing going on, but right now the best battle is right here. He's in the tow. Do you think he's going to make a move on him? Maybe not this time.
I just don't think he can because Burns is also in the tow. So Burns right now is doing a good job of protecting himself with second position. If he can just stay right up on Hafladezen, he doesn't need to force an issue, and he can lock down second.
Help me out, Shaggy. Where's your favorite? I love the racing line through that corner. It looks like they miss the apex every time. Where would you make the move if you're Burns and maybe if you're Beifeld? What corner would you like?
I think if you're Beifeld, the first corner you got to think about is turn 9 before the backstretch. You can maybe dive bomb in a little low, shorten up that apex, and try to just outbrake him in there and force him out wide. But other than that, man, you get so much draft down these straightaways that it's so hard to get by when you're in that tow line. But coming up right here, this is where I would think about it. Maybe shoot in a little low there, but you see Burns, he's protecting it. He went a little left. He knows that that's a corner he's got to watch it, and he can shorten it up because now he's going to get tow from Hafladezen. So you can tell he's driving defensive and he's driving smart.
Boy, he would like to keep Beifeld behind him. Now they work through the S that gave Beifeld the trouble. I'm a little worried that Burns is a little too far back now from Hafladezen to get the big toe out of Lyondike. That'll be the next right-hander coming up. I think this might, look how close Beifeld is on the back of Burns. Talk about a driver who is hungry. Actually felt like he might be too close. I don't want to give racecraft to Beifeld, but maybe you want to have a little more momentum. He pulls to the inside. Now it's a drag race. Let's see if Burns closes the door.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you caught that there, but Hafladezen played a little hard man there. He was swerving back and forth, giving both lines tow, and to tell you the truth, I'm not sure he wants to give Beifeld any tow. Yeah. I would want Burns behind me. I would feel a lot safer, and he may have damned himself here as Beifeld just made the pass for P2.
He rolls the outside of the outside line around Burns, so Burns dropping back now into third position, and Hafladezen with that lead, which is not all that big, just about almost 0.8 of a second. With that said, let's go ahead and find ourselves another battle on the track. Let's watch that one. What are we looking at right there? That's a good one. That is Rel Peterson and Neptune. This is fun. A little farther back, this is battle for 11th position. Yeah, we're gonna jump up. We're gonna jump up to the one for 4th position. This is Gyros and Bamber in a going at it for 4th position. Gyros in the lead position right now. Bamber chasing him.
Yeah, Bambi able to get in the gas pretty early there. I think he's looking to maybe set him up. If he can step in the gas pretty early here and be within about 0.3 of a second, he can think about the dive bomb, but it just doesn't look like he's getting the exit he wanted.
Coming out of there, and you can see just chasing those guys, racing all by himself is Daniel Solo, living up to his name. They come down into Tarzan. No battle there. Okay, we can't leave the front for too long. Let's check back in on Byfeld and see if he's able to close in the lead on the leader. And sure enough, boy, we were only gone for about a half a lap, 3/4 of a lap, and he's already on him now.
Yeah, like I said, I think Haflidazen's really going to be kicking himself if he analyzes this race. I think he had a great shot, or a better shot at this win. Still got a great shot, but he could have kept Burns behind him as that P2 man just as a blocker, and now he's got to drive defensive against one of the best.
Well, gives maybe an opportunity for Third Degree to get up there and make it a 3-car battle. Keep an eye on the man in third if he can run them down. In through the left-hander. Now the long back straight.
Haflidazen went so defensive on corner entry that Byfeld is going to get a big pull here, but I don't think he's going to try to outbreak him. He's going to be right behind him now.
The question is the toe. Now, what I thought was interesting was the way that Byfeld was on the tail of Burns all the way through the final corner, Lion Dyke. My race strategy, and who am I to tell Byfeld how to race, is to leave yourself a little bit of momentum so you can come out of here. This feels a little better. Now I think the toe's going to work better as he comes up. He starts to run. You get a little more of a slingshot, and he gets to the inside. Yes, compared to how he was with Burns, he's side by side with Haflidazen. But hang on, let's see if he can finish the job, because it swings back and forth here. And all of a sudden, Haflidazen is in the preferred racing line here. As they come through here, if he can hang on a bit through this corner, then they get through this one. This is fun as they go both wide around the outside. They almost look like slot cars as they go through there, just on each one in their own groove. Now they hit up. Now Byfeld with the position, and I think he's probably going to finish it up as they come up to the right-hander here. They should be able to wrap this up, and we'll have Byfeld back out in front again. Here comes Burns, though. The little side-by-side battle has allowed Third Degree back into the hunt.
Yeah, he's right back there in the picture, and man, that was some tight side-by-side racing, and what I said earlier, one of the tightest parts of the track. That was good, clean racing, everybody giving each other room, and real fun to watch.
Again, we know there are other cars, and we pride ourselves in getting there, but we can't go yet because I have a hunch that if Haflidazen can hang on to the back of Byfeld, he may make a run on him on the straightaway. Let's see, a little bit of a gap. He opens up to 1.5, 2-car gap through the chicane. This is where Byfeld made a mistake earlier. He handles it much better now. Now they come around. We'll have 2 right-handers. A great exit from Haflidazen. Haflidazen's there. He's peaking already. 2 right-handers, and then they're on the main straightaway again. Haflidazen leading back just about a car length. That's where I want him to be. They come out of Lion Dyke. Let's see if he can do the slingshot. He's got a good run, Shaggy.
Oh, he's close enough to make the move, Soup, and he's going to go for it. You saw Byfeld, Byfeld got a little wide on corner exit, and that opened the door, and we got a new leader.
Not only did he make the pass, he got it done before he gets to Tarzan, so he didn't have to worry about going side by side through the twisty part of the track. Burns continues to close in. Okay, let's assume there's not going to be a pass for the lead for a little while. Let's drop back and look at the battle a little farther back. This is between Gyros and Bamber. Babby continues to chase, but cannot get the job done.
No, he's all over him, though. It's like he's waiting for him to make a mistake, but sometimes you gotta force it. But you gotta think too. Is Bambi thinking, "Hey, if I finish 5th, I'm going to start 1st in the next sprint"? It's got to be going through his mind.
I easily think he might be thinking exactly that. No change up front. We can stay on this one for a little bit. Let's quickly leave this and talk about a big mover. Car number 104, currently in 9th position, 14th to 9th, up 5 spots. This is Hendrik Camaro. We're not going to stay on him long because he's really not fighting with anybody. Just want to give him a little screen time love. Well done. All right, we better go back to the front now because they are coming into the final two right-handers to set up the main straight.
Yeah, and Haflidaisen just did the same thing Byfeld did the last lap, so I assume we may get another lead change going down the front stretch here, Sue.
He's back about 2 car lengths this time, a little farther back than before. Here comes the slingshot. Now it's 1 car length, half a car length. He's going to get there late, and in fact, he didn't get the run that he wants, so he's going to have to wait 1 more lap. That's okay. We got plenty of time to go there. We are only at the 14.5-minute mark. Still about 5.5 minutes of racing to go. Lap time's about 1:33.
Yeah, that's also something that these good drivers are thinking about. He doesn't need to get the job done now. There's enough time left, but looks like Bambi's trying to get the move done here for 4th, but Christopher's going back at it.
And now they're fighting. They are side by side.
Man, you don't want to be side by side through here.
That is Bamber up in front. Garros, it's Bamber on driver right, Bambi on driver left, and Garros is going to hold on to that position for now. Woo!
Wow, man, wheel to wheel. Looked like they almost touched there going uphill. That's wild.
Been a long time coming there. That was great. No change up front, but we'll watch it again. We started with 21 drivers actually took the grid. 18 are still on the lead lap. We have Stefan Bartholomew, Lucas Peterson, and Alexander Bigdelius are all a lap down. All right, let's go back up front now and see what plays out here as they have another run at it. You know, I don't know how many bites of the apple. We'll have to do the math that Byfeld is going to get on the main straight. Watch what's interesting here is watch where the finish line is. There's really not time for a last lap pass. If he wants to get it done, he's got to get it before they're waving the checker.
No, yeah, you're exactly right. And I think right now he's almost just sitting there. He could have made the move there if he wanted to, but I think he's just maybe trying to put the pressure on Haflidaisen and maybe force him to make a mistake or think about making that move when he sees the white flag come out.
Yeah, honestly, I think he needs to make the move as he comes out of corner number 4 and they're waving the white flag. He does not want to make it on the final lap, and I bet you he's trying to figure out exactly how many laps we have to go. Look at this battle. This is Sancinelli and Wojciech Podolczek. That's after a pit stop from the Polish driver.
Yeah, we saw early off-track damage to that right front, but hey, able to climb back into the top 10. Impressive run.
Points pay down to 15th, so both those drivers are going to score a little bit if they can come home in the position that they are right now. Sancinelli started in 12th position, is up 2 spots. Okay, we got to talk about a big mover. Now, I can't really, we're going to look at car number 04. This is Lance Simon. Now, it's against my religion to give him the hard charger of the race when you don't put in qualifying time. Nevertheless, Lance, well done. You started in the very back. You worked your way up into 13th.
Yeah, that's what consistency and staying on the track gets you, just watching other people go off. He's not putting down blistering lap times by any means, but very consistent lap in and lap out.
All right, we leave Lance. Let's go back up front. I think we're going to pass for the lead. He's coming. Here he goes. And he waits.
Yeah, he keeps tricking us, Soup.
Oh, he's waiting until he gets the white flag to get underneath the white flag waving, I think is going on. Let me see if I can figure out. We're at 17:33. That's about 2.5 minutes. Boy, look at this. Is a great camera angle there. So you can actually see the banked corner. What a great corner that is.
Yeah, I mean, you just feel it. I remember a couple years ago when F1 came back here, they weren't sure what was going to be the preferred line, and Fernando Alonso made a big pass on the outside, and everybody discovered what the line was going to be. You just carry so much speed on the outside, and it's kind of unbelievable.
Boy, I'm getting old and the name slips my. But if you've ever raced the I forgot the name of the track. It's like 12 miles around in Germany. What's the name of
Nuremberg.
Yeah, Nuremberg. There's like the carousel there. Reminds me of that it's that bank turn where you can. All right, let's go back up front and look at Haflidaisen and Byfeld. Byfeld just playing cat and mouse right now.
Yeah, it looked like he could have made the move there as well if he wanted to, but I think we're going to see it maybe here if we get the white flag this time by. I don't know. It's going to be close on time. We might get 2 more laps.
Don't be surprised if you don't see Haflidaisen take a defensive line. I would not be surprised to see that happen. They come out of the final corner. Let's see if he leaves the inside open. He does.
Thinking the same thing, Soup. Because
he moves over. Look at this.
Yeah, now Burns kind of set himself up because he's got to take the unpreferred line, or Byfeld. I mean, he doesn't get the preferred line here now. And did he wait too long? Nope, he got it done.
The white flag was waved. Hofladezen took the defensive line. He made him go around. Now they swing around the banked corner there, and Byfeld is back out in front. But it was fun while it lasted. Hofladezen put up a good battle. Looks like Burns is going to have to settle for third. We can check back in on Garros and Bamber. That thing has settled down. Neal doing the best he could never get around Garros. He gave him a run, but Bambi's looked like he's going to have to settle into fifth.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, going to start P1 the next race if he can finish fifth. So maybe not a bad move, but he did turn it on and try to go get fourth there and give us a show for a bit.
With that said, there are no real battles on the track. The best one is up front. So let's go ahead and watch Byfeld as he opens up a little bit. There is still some passing opportunities here. They go through the S's. Probably wanted to get it done if he could have by then. Hofladezen has got to be a lot closer to actually get it done. As the flagman changes flags right now, gets out the one that is checkered. Out of the Arie Luyendyk corner, picking up his third race win of the season. Increasing his points lead, Marcus Byfeld. Hofladezen will take second. David Burns gets his first podium. Christian Garros will come home in fourth. And Bambi, all you Neil Bamber fans, can't be a deer in the headlights when there are no headlights in front of you there. So he'll be starting on pole for the next heat. All the drivers come across. How many finished on the lead lap, you ask me? Well, I'm going to tell you. It was 17 drivers on the lead lap. Bartholomew by Bigdelius, Loudis, and Peterson all many laps down. Tony Hayes did not take the green. With that said, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire finishing order before we have another race for you. Don't go far. You're watching the Virtual Grid Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Where the rents are high and the seabirds cry. Welcome back to the dunes at Zandvoort. Okay, the results are in. You know, the best time of any doubleheader is the break in between. It's the perfect blend of the post-race high and the pre-race jitters. With that said, let's run down the finishing order of the race we just saw. And remember that the top five will be inverted on the starting grid. Marcus Byfeld got the win. David Burns was in second. Hofladezen held the lead for a while. And let's try this one more time for a year. Hofladezen was second. David Burns finishes third. Christopher Garros and Neil Bamber put up a battle, but they finished in that order. Ludwig Sauer and Daniel Solo go 6th and 7th. Rounding out your top 10, Vincent Breen went from 6th to 8th. 14th tonight for Henrik Kamara. And Wojciech Podolczyk had to make a pit stop, was able to salvage 10th. Shaggy?
Edgar Sancinelli is going to finish 11th today. Christian Gould's going to be P12. Lance Simon, S-Soup likes to say we don't like to give the non-qualifier the hard charger, but up 9 spots, 22 to 13, finished 13th. Frederick Neptune's going to finish 14th. Stefan Mali, P15. Vladimir Stagekuhl, 16. And James Molyneux, your last car on the lead lap, in P17. Stefan Bartholomew is going to finish P18 one lap down. Big Delius is going to finish 2 laps down, P19. The final 2, both 5 laps down. Klaus Loden and Lucas Peterson, and Tony Hayes never made the grid.
There we go. We encourage all the drivers to stay out there. We'll try to get you some screen time, even if you're well back in the order. That one was a tough one, as the excitement was up front the whole way. It was hard to leave it. We did try to go back as we get a few drivers in there. I was happy that we talked about Henrik Kamara, even though he was only up 5 spots. That's compared to Lance Simon, who was up 9. Remember, Simon didn't put in that qualifying time, so we ignore him as hard charger. Let's go ahead and give it to Henrik Kamara, who went 14th to 9th. So he'll be starting. One of the nice things about this, Shaggy, this format, is he started 14th in qualifying, but there is no qualifying now for the second race. So Kamara gets to start in 9th. He has a few more spots he can pick up.
Yeah, better look at the top 5. Going to get a little more competition up there as we expect, but I expect him to gain a couple spots. He was smooth and looked real steady out there.
Practice going on right now. They'll be gridding up a bit. I'll go ahead and tell you the order that they will actually take the grid on. It'll be Bamber on the pole position, Garros outside of him, Burns and Hofladason with Byfeld inside of row 3. The rest of them are exactly as the way we called them in the finishing order of the previous race. Love that shot. Look at that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Somebody needs to take a spot there on the inside of row 4. They're lining up there. They start to pop their cars in the spot. One of the intricacies of sim racing there. We're waiting for Solo, as he is the only driver, again, because he's solo, not to take his spot on the grid. Wait for that. There, now they all pop in. Look at how they're all lined up. Boy, and the drivers put it perfectly in line. Look how they're, looks like tombstones in a cemetery. They're all perfectly lined up. You can hear the engines start to rev. All right, it's round number 2. Glad you are with us. All right, Bamber gets a pretty good jump. There is a battle for second, though, right now. Watch out for that one as they start to close in and they work around the outside. Bamber still in the lead. Talking into second, that is Garros. He's able to hold that grid position that he started. Hofladason up 1 spot. He loses a spot. Is David Burns, and then back there in 5th is Byfeld. So Hofladason, the only driver able to pick up a spot there on the start.
Yeah, Burns with another slower start, but he's able to keep the man behind him that he really wanted to keep behind him, I think, Byfeld. And, he can work on these guys every lap, but you want to keep Byfeld behind you and make him work on it.
Hofladason now looking to make a move right now on Kamara. Kamara says, Garros says no, not yet. Garros now looking to see if he can get on Bamber. Remember, Bamber and Garros were in that battle the entire first race, but they flipped the order a little bit. This time Bamber is out in front. Garros now, gets right. I think he may have actually touched him there. You don't want to do that in open wheel cars. They go in through the chicane side by side. I don't know if that's going to be an off trap for Bamber. We'll have to see.
I think he's going to be all right, Sue, but man, that was a big move to do on cold tires. I would not have been expecting that if I was Bamber. He's probably not too happy about that.
They come out of the final corner. They are going to all spread out right now. Holy moly, this is going to be good night, nurse. Could it be a twofer for Hofladason? Hofladason never seemed to make things happen. He's going to go 3 wide. Can they work it? They bump. They bang. It does not work for Hofladason. It lets everybody else get back into the mix. Still back there is Burns watching in the popcorn position. What a show he's getting from 4th position. Now Hofladason on the inside. They bump and bang again. Hofladason and bang again. Hofladason and Garros elbows out. Burns has got to be saying, easy, boys, I'm too close for you to be doing that. Now Burns is going to get in the mix. Hofladezen is stuck on the outside position. Burns is going to try to pick up the spot because of Hofladezen's nonsense. Back there watching the whole thing is Byfield. He doesn't want any part of this. That's also allowed Sauer into the mix. Here comes Solo. He's there now. Even the guys like Potocek and Kamara are all in this lead train. Oh, what racing! More action, more banging going on. That is Sauer who got into it with Byfield. Sauer is loose.
Crossover.
Yes. Oh, Byfield back there just trying to stay out of the craziness that's happened in front of him. And then all of a sudden, Ludwig Sauer says, well, if you're not going to get up there and race with those guys, I'm going to take a shot at it. Let's go back up front. They have the two right-handers, then they'll be on the main straight. Let's see, Shaggy, if anybody takes a defensive line here out of this final corner.
I think Bamber should have enough of a gap to be okay. He might think about pulling to the right, though, and causing a little battle for second, but he's going to stay in line.
Garros leaves the inside open for Hofladezen. These guys have been going at it. Maybe they figure that they've banged enough that they know how to get through their side-by-side right now. Now they get through this right-hander. Now they get to this kind of banked hairpin where they roll around the top side. Whee! And look at the momentum. Oh, no, there goes Garros. He got lost momentum when Hofladezen ran around him. Burns got into him, and it's good night, nurse, for Garros.
Yeah, he just tried to slot his car back up in line and just didn't have the momentum. Burns couldn't check up in time. That's an awkward spot of the track. Can't really roll out of the throttle without losing control out of the car, so he was kind of dedicated at that point. But looks like Burns' front end's clean. He's going to be able to carry on.
It was a pretty good shot, but that's the first thing I checked as well, and it looks pretty good. Boy, I tell you, Hofladezen is not scared to put on a show. He gets loose, and now he's looking to the inside of Bamber for the lead. They come down to the chicane. Can they go too wide through the chicane? We're going to find out. Here comes the right-hander. Bamber in the preferred position. Now the left-hander, and Bamber was able to close the door. Look how they're lined up, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cars deep, all the way back to Breve.
Yeah, this is a tough one if you're Bambi. You got to run real hard. You don't want to give up any spots because, like you said, everybody's in line behind him, and one mistake, that's 3 or 4 spots, Sue.
All right, let's look back. I think the battle. Look at Bamber take the inside line, and now it is Byfield looking to the inside of Burns. Burns is going to try to roll the momentum. Meanwhile, Hofladezen rolling the top side. We have a pass for the lead. Do we have a pass for third as well? No, I believe Burns is able to hold that off, and we have a new leader, and it is Mikael Hofladezen.
Yeah, you can see he just outbraked him there into turn 1, and then Burns checking up a little early, causing a little thing. They're just driving a little deeper than Bamber is. They're just a little more aggressive, so he needs to get by him if he wants to have any shot at catching Hofladezen.
All right, now Marcus Byfield is doing the math. The way that the point structure is, you get extra points. If you're the winner, you get 25 points. If you finish second, you get 22 points. So right now, Byfield has got to be thinking, I'm not going to win the day if I can't get up there and at least finish behind Hofladezen. There are bonus points, of course. Look at what Byfield is doing right now, working so hard on Bamber. The 45 of Bamber has dropped from the lead, and now he's fighting to hang on to that podium spot. Byfield has yet to pass anybody on the track. Yes, he got around Garros, but that was when Garros was in the wall.
Yeah, he's being cautious, and sometimes that can bite you. You know, I mean, Burns was able to be aggressive, get by Bamber there, and he's just struggling getting by. I thought he was going to try to outbrake him into the S-turn there, but he just thought best of it and got in line. And now he's got to try to make a move, but the problem is Bamber's going to get tow from Burns, so it's going to be real hard for Bamber to make this move.
Bamber does not take the defensive line on the inside. They will go too wide, and actually Bamber waves them by. That's a veteran driver. Oh, no, Hofladezen is around from the lead. Oh, put a hammer in the oven because the camel has learned to read. I can't believe what I just saw.
Oh, tough break. This was his best chance at the win. I mean, he had a great shot last heat. But, oh, man, Byfield was having a hard time. And now if you're Burns, you got to be counting how many more laps you can stay out front of that man.
Hofladezen was out there cooking with hot fish grease. He had opened up a big lead. Byfield still had to get around Burns It was going to be a tough order for Beifeld to run down Hofladezen until that mistake. Hofladezen able to salvage it. Let's look at Hofladezen right now. Boy, this is, you're a poker player. This is called being on tilt. This is the red mist going on. He is on the back of Frederick Neptune. Neptune says, how the heck did you get there? Hofladezen is in a hurry.
Yeah, and remember who Neptune's teammate is. It's that man up front, Beifeld. So he's not going to make it easy on Hofladezen getting by.
Oh, he squeezed him. Oh, my goodness. There's a great gravitational force to Neptune, and he's forcing Hofladezen to try to go through the beach. They cannot get it done. You are absolutely right, Shaggy. Neptune was making it as hard as he legally could for Hofladezen.
I mean, I absolutely love this about team racing. Like, I look forward to it every weekend in F1. You know, sometimes you'll see Checo go out there and block for Max, or vice versa, George block for Russell, and it's just, I mean, it's just great watching the teams battling.
Beifeld and Burns going at it, and now Beifeld is in the lead.
Yeah, made pretty quick work of that there, Soup. I'd said it whenever Burns got to first the last lap. You had to wonder how long he could hold on. I mean, Beifeld just so quick, and with the advantage of getting that toe in P2, you knew it was only a matter of time.
Gotta love the rules package here where they invert the top five. They invert just enough where the good guys have to do the work. If you invert more than top five, that's a recipe for trouble, but that works out well. So Beifeld looking to make it a double, a twofer here today as he's looking to get a double win. And there's a spin right in front of the leaders. See who that was there. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was Potacek got involved in it. It was also involved Molyneux. We might be able to dial this one up. We'll see if our director can find it. I think it starts with Molyneux. There we go. He spins right in the middle, and then with nowhere to go, as he does a little donut, I think that was Potacek who got involved. Oh, my goodness. Potacek having a rough day.
Yeah, I don't think Potacek's going to be very happy with that one.
Well, it is tough to stay in the middle of the track right in the racing line, but I know you're uncomfortable there, but you got to just keep your foot on the brakes and let guys go around you. You can't be doing a donut in front of everybody. Let's go back up front. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're exactly right. You know, it's tough, but you put yourself in that situation, so you just got to sit there on the brakes, let everybody go by, and pay attention to that relative. But tough break for Potacek.
I thought Burns was going to be able to run down Beifeld, but that was not the case. He's back a couple. So let's set the stage for you now. There is a nice little battle back here with Bamber and Ludwig Sauer. This is a battle for third.
I was about to say that, too. Ludwig's kind of run him down the last couple laps. Gonna maybe be in striking distance here if he wants to be patient and get a big toe down the front stretch, or maybe he goes for it now and dive bombs him here into the S.
If you're watching the broadcast, we recommend all the drivers come on over and line up for an interview after the race. Not only if you're in the top three, we'll see if we can go around, and if you're a hard charger, maybe we'll talk to you as well. We'll mix it up a bit. Not sure we can get to everybody, and if we don't get you today, we may get you next time around. Let's look at this battle. This is between Bream, Neptune, and Solo. Bream now opens it up a bit. The real battle is between Neptune and Daniel Solo. Of course, Neptune has got to feel a little bit better that Hofladezen has made around. Not only has Hofladezen got around Neptune, he also got around Vince's Bream as well. So Hofladezen now up into fifth spot.
And Camaro not too far behind that line. He's hoping those guys in front start to battle there with Neptune and Bream, and he wants to get involved in that.
Camara's in the white car, top of the screen right now. Remember, he was the driver that had such a great run through the field in the opening race. He worked his way up into ninth spot. That's where he races right now. Let's see if he can pick up a few more. I'd like to spread around the screen time to everybody. If you find yourself a nice battle, that's good. Hey, let's quickly take a quick look at car number 54. He's in a little bit of a fight with the 04 of Lance Simon. This is Stefan Milas. That's for, what would that be, 12th spot? Remember, points go down to 15, so those are points positions.
And at the end of the day, you know, we saw Byfeld drive off in the first race, and mistakes happen. So every point matters. They're going to be battling tooth and nail to the end here.
Riding on board with Lance right now, looking ahead at the driver in front of him. That is Stefan Milas. You can see the tower there. We're not missing anything up front. I'll just tell you, Byfeld has opened up about, 9, 10 car lengths lead on Burns. Burns doing his best to stay with him, but Byfeld having his own way. Bamber comfortable in third. Sauer not able to make any move on that one. There's a chance with about 8 minutes to go. Hofladezen might be able to run down these guys. Let's see if there's a pass going to be made there. Nope, Camaro is going to peek out. We'll check back in on him next lap around, see if he makes that move.
Last time Byfeld just locked up that extra bonus point for fastest lap of the race there. 133.65, so he's putting it down. But Burns ran a 133.86. You know, not really getting outrun that much. That toe able to help him out, but soon he's going to be over that second gap.
I want to go on board with car number 81, Michael Hofladezen, and let's see if he can see the guys he's after. He's trying to run down Ludwig Sauer. You can see their interval on screen there. There he is. There's the two guys he's coming after.
Oh, yeah, he's got that fishing pole out, Soup. He's reeling them in every lap.
Boy, look at him get larger. I realize there's an accordion effect as the cars will close in and stretch out as they work their way through, but you get the hunch just from watching this that he is coming, and he probably has time to get there.
Yeah, he definitely has a shot at P3, but, man, I think he is going to be kicking himself. We all know it. This was a great shot at victory for him. He had built up almost a second gap and was building time with the Burns helping him out in second.
Indeed. You think guys that are questioning themselves, you think about Mikel Hofladezen, even though he might be able to salvage a podium here, and then Christopher Garros, who had that great start up front that went south on him in the battle with Hofladezen. Looking for a hard charge right now. Not really much to talk about. Everyone pretty much racing close to where they are. Oh, we're direct.
Neptune's up 8 spots.
There we go. Neptune up a few spots. There's a nice battle. Neptune started. Oh, this is a. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Frederick here. 14th to 6th, a nice run.
Yeah, big run for him, and like I mentioned earlier, his teammate Byfeld, the winner or the leader right now. He going to be a good points day.
That is Vincent Bream under attack from Daniel Solo. Those guys tried to get it worked out. Bream out in front. Kamara would like to get in there if he could. Kamara back in 9th. This is a fun battle. Let's stay on this one for 6th position. That's Neptune and Bream, Solo, and then the last one, maybe Kamara can get in there side by side.
And looking for it.
Yeah, Solo gets it done. Oh, he gets a little bit loose coming out of there. Let's stay on as they head down the front straight. They go into the two right-handers. Go ahead, Shaggy.
Kamara really like that. You see how close he sucked up onto them when they battled through the S's. Now he's right in the picture.
Good deal. That is Bream he's trying to run down. About 2 car lengths back. Bream takes the offensive line to the inside. About 1 car length down. Kamara's not going to get there this time, but it will be fun to see if he tries it on the next lap. Well, we were talking about this battle with Mikel Hofladezen. Could he get to those guys? The answer is, Shaggy, yes, as he's making a move right now on Sauer.
Yeah, you know, I talked about Byfeld getting the fastest lap. Well, Hofladezen with some draft, he beat that lap by a couple hundredths of a second. So he's the new fast lap of the race. He's going for it, man.
Worth a bonus point, and he picks up another point. Actually, the way the point structure is, that's 2 points as he passes Sauer into 4th position. 2 more points available if he can get up into to Neil Bamber, which is a real possibility.
Yeah, and he's showing how hard he drives. I don't think we've seen a pass on the outside through turn 7 all day. And he just got it done. He didn't care what part of the track he was on. He knew he has to go.
About just a tick under 3 minutes of racing to go. with that, let's check back in on Kamara and see if he's able to run down Green. Not yet. This is a nice battle. Just ahead of them is Daniel Solo.
Solo, he might be getting close enough to make a move here on Neptune, or at least start thinking about it this lap or the next lap. You remember, he was stuck back there in 8th place, but able to get the pass done on Bream a lap ago, so now he's got to see what he's got.
Neptune kind of paving the defensive line there as he moved to the inside, and that's where the draft was. Everyone following them through. Neptune, Solo, Bream, and Kamara now beginning to lose touch. Oh, is there a pass at Hoflades and get Bamber? Yep, they're side by side.
Yeah, he's just, he did the same thing to Sauer last time. He just does a good job of making drivers feel uncomfortable through the uphill. He's very fast, very controlled, and able to get another pass done.
David Burns has got to be feeling mildly confident that he has a big enough gap to hold Hoflades in back, but you never know. Let's stay on these guys and see if Sauer makes a move on Bamber. Sauer looks to be pretty quick. The advantage that Sauer may have is that he'll have the toe of Hoflades. Let me correct myself. That Bamber will have is he'll be in the toe of Hoflades and maybe make it a little harder for Sauer to pick up that spot.
I noticed too, we had missed there through turn 2. Neptune, he'd spun out, so Neptune back to P9. Tough break for Frederick Neptune.
There it is. We could go. Our director Johnny on the spot. As we come back live, let's look at Hofladazen closing in, making a peek. Bamber going to try to duck inside of Hofladazen. Hofladazen can't close the door, but he rolls the outside. The white flag is waving. This is where the action is right now. All this going on behind Byfeld and Burns. No real battle there. The battle is for third. We'll stay on this one. And now Hofladazen begins to get away. The question is, can Bamber hang on to what would be 4th position? Here comes Sauer.
Sauer maybe taking a book out of Hofladazen's playbook. He saw it used on him. He's thinking about going on the outside.
Oh, my goodness. Here go their Bamber saying, I've had such a sweet day. Don't make it Sauer. And Ludwig says, I can do that. As Sauer now chasing them. They work their way through the corners that have had so many different names. We're not going to go with them right now. Trust me, they're sponsors. All this going on behind Hofladazen. We'll stay on this battle for 4th. Meanwhile, we don't want to miss our leader as he comes across the line. Let's go ahead and look at our leader real quick because he has something to deal with. He's got some lap traffic here. I don't think he wants any part of Christopher Garros. He can just sit back there and relax a bit. Coming across. It's going to be 2 in a row for Marcus Byfeld today. Good day in Holland for Marcus. The Swede gets 2 wins. David Burns will get 3rd. And the battle for 4th, Bamber able to hold off Sauer. Any more battles out there to look at? I don't think so. Everybody pretty much coming across the line. No real battles out on the track right now.
I do want to mention, I saw it pop up on the screen. Man, shout out to Kamara. The connection gods got him on the lap.
Oh!
Lost his packet, so that killed a heck of a run for him.
Boy, yeah, a really good day for Kamara, and the same thing to Sauer, who had it going all his way until things went south. Or no, Neptune, until things went south for him. All right, the racing is over here in the Netherlands, but our broadcast is not. We'll take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire finishing order of heat number 2, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Don't go far. You're watching the Virtual Grid Network.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing. all from your home PC. Race virtually in indoor series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
From not a Netherlands, but the Netherlands, this is the Virtual Grip Network's coverage of Formula Neagle. It's round number 3, races 4 and 5. Race 5 is just done. Let's go ahead and give you that right now. The results are in. Well, he won the first race of the day. He's going to win the second race of the day. It's a good day in Holland for Marcus Byveld, the Swedish driver, as he's going to have a nice points day for him. David Third Degree Burns finally picks up his first podium as he comes home in second position. Mikkel Hofladezen, well, my goodness, what a show he put on. He got into an accident, lost positions, went all the way down to 12th, fought back for a third place finish for him. Neil Bamber was in a great battle with Ludwig Sauer, both in this race and in the earlier race with Garros. Bamber's going to get a fourth today. Good points day for him. Ludwig Sauer settles for fifth. Back half of your top 10, Daniel Solo, Vincent Bream, Frederick Neptune, who was far up as 6th, had a late spin. He'll finish in 8th. Stefan Bartholomew did not give him a lot of screen time. Come back next time. You started at 18th, cut it in half to 9th. We'll get to some screen time when we go to the 4th stop of the series. And Vladimir Secek, we didn't talk much about him. He comes home in 10th spot. Shaggy?
Edgar Sancinelli started 11th, finished 11th. Lance Simon, P12. Stefan Mali, P13. Christian Grulli, P14. Klaus Loden up 5 spots, finished P15. Wojtek Podacek, we saw not an easy race for him today. A lot of bad luck. He's going to finish 16th, so he's not even going to be able to bring home try and salvage that point. That's kind of tough for him. But Lucas Peterson, P17. Christopher Giros Jr., P18. Henrik Kamara with the Connection Gremlins, P19. Big Delius going to finish P20. James Molyneux, 21st. And Tony Hayes, I don't believe he made the call for this one either.
Yeah, but he gets his name on the chart there. So even though he didn't get any screen time on the track, you get a little bit there after the race. All right, I'm going to go ahead and talk to David Third Degree Burns. I'll save Mikkel Hofladezen for my partner Shaggy to talk to. But right now, I got the man finally picks up his first podium of the season. David, congratulations. Well done.
Oh, man, that was tough holding on to those two.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. So let's go to the first race where you were able to, what did you do on the, we look at that when you got yourself, was it third place on the, no, let's go ahead.
Third.
Yeah, third, there we go. Yeah, third on the opening round, so you pick up 2 podiums. I want to talk a little bit about the car. I've noticed these guys are putting down fast laps at the end of the races because the car's lighter.
To be honest, my lap times, I couldn't match Marcus and Michael. They have like 2 or 3 10s on me. But yeah, as the car gets lighter, you do tend to get a little bit of a better time.
Again, you lost yourself a position on the starts. Your starts are a little weak this season.
Right, I'll explain that. So I've got one of these clutch pedals on the steering wheel, and I'm hopeless with it. But apparently this car's better to launch with it, so I keep trying it, but I just keep going backwards. I think I'm better going to holding the brake.
It is. Every time I do a commentation, I go, oh, Burns has lost another spot on the start. Let's go to the second race. I thought maybe you might be able to hang on to Marcus for a while. Not going to happen, huh?
I was just chuffed I held on to him for 2 laps now. He just has the edge. He's truly phenomenal in this car. My contact with Christopher, I've apologised to him because I just did not expect him to come back up into that gap. And I was already full throttle. I had no time to react, so he got a little bit of a punt from me.
David, I want to talk about a corner that I find fascinating on this track. Maybe you can help me. I'm not sure what it is. It's maybe corner 4, maybe, or 5. It's that left-hander that is like a banked hairpin. You know the one I'm talking about?
Turn 3.
Yeah, it looks like the racing line is actually on the outside.
It is. I mean, I must admit, I love this version of the track now, the F1 version, because that banked corner, you can almost, it's just a tap of the brakes and you're straight back onto full throttle. If you ride the outside, it's tremendous. It really is brilliant.
It looks fun to race, man. I did a little practicing on it, and I go, well, there's the apex is way up here. Well, man, David, congratulations. It's always fun to put on the show. We'll watch you next time.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
David Third Degree Burns, a great points day for the British driver. All right, Shaggy, who you got?
Hey, Mikhail, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
I hear you loud and clear.
Well, hey, let's talk about that first race a little bit. It looked like when Byfeld overdrove that S corner, man, it looked like it was yours to win there. But you know, look, we talked about your strategy a little bit. When you were going down the front stretch, instead of giving Burns your pull there, you pulled to the inside and gave Byfeld some draft going down the front stretch. You think that cost you at the end of the day?
No, not really. I mean, I think I overcooked my tires when I was leading, and I was just basically trying to make them fight each other for as long as possible, but Marcus was clearly the faster one of us, and then sadly we had a bit of contact on the last lap, and I couldn't really try to fight back, but I mean, P2 is still really good in race 1. I botched my qualifying, so I can't be too mad about it.
No, you can't be upset. I mean, you were quick there. You were putting lap times almost in the same ballpark as him, you know, up the second feature event. You guys were trading fast laps as you guys were coming through the field. I know you got to be kicking yourself for that loop in turn 1. What happened there?
Yeah, so a couple of laps earlier, or the previous lap, I don't know, Geiros basically drove straight into me in the really banked corner in the beginning of the lap, and I think I had wheel damage or something, because turning right was really unstable for the rest of the race with the car. So just went on the power and lost the rear end.
Yeah, that makes sense. We remember the contact there, and we're actually looking on board there when you had to get your elbows out coming back up through the pack here. Man, you made some impressive turns going through the uphill. Did you practice making people uncomfortable, or is that something you just had to do to get the pass done?
It's in my nature. I think we drove here in the Swedish F4 League a couple of weeks ago, and I think some of the overtaking spots we drove in the rain, obviously, but some of the spots I knew we could overtake still sits in the back, so I felt pretty secure about what I was doing. Obviously, with people I don't usually race with, it might seem sketchy, but for me, I think it was pretty safe moves I did. Obviously, with the amount of speed I had compared to what the guys around me after I spun had, I kind of had to go for the moves as well, because I really wanted a top 3 at least.
No, you're exactly right. You're kind of forced into making those moves because, you know, as well as I do, even if you're half a second faster than a guy a lap, if they park their car correctly in the racing line, man, it's really tough to get by. So you did a wonderful job of putting it on the outside and making 2 beautiful passes. I think you had the only pass on the outside of turn 7 today. And we talked about it. It was pretty amazing, man. But you're up here pretty often. You know what to do. You got anybody you want to thank on the podium?
Well, mom and dad, of course, and then also my friends, Daniel and Heikki, who I was racing with. A bit sad with Heikki dropping out in the last race due to his power going out, and also Alex, who's been watching the race today. It's been fun talking with them.
Well, congratulations, Mikhail. Awesome run, man, and hopefully we talk to you again here soon.
See you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good, man.
I'll tell you, Shaggy, it is so discouraging for me as a sim racer to watch a guy drive through the field from 12th to 3rd and then hear in the interview later that his car was damaged while he did it. It's just like, my God, the talent of some of these guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. If you did, we're going to do it again. You heard Mikhail Hoflade say we're going to do it in 2 weeks. Well, that's going to be for Formula Neagle. We're going to be back in 1 week to bring you the GT version of the Formula of Absolute Beginner League. And that's the Andy Morgan Cup. Where are we going? Oh, my goodness, that's going to be fun. We're going to France, baby. All right, that's going to be next week. Same bat channel, same bat station. But before then, there's some oval racing here on VGN Tuesday nights. It's a pretty good racing league. They're going to be at Simona. And let me correct myself. Usually they race ovals. We got ourselves a twisty one as we're going to Sonoma. That's in Northern California. You don't want to miss that one. All right, those broadcasts, future ones, past ones, are all a production of the Virtual Grip Network. With that said, I'm going to head into the closet and look for your hat. I don't see any hats in here, so I'll simply come back out and promise you we'll do better next time. Until then, have fun storming the castle.